Hey everyone, it's Kyle, and today in this video I'm going to talk about the Canon EOS RP. Now you might be watching this before you buy it, or you're just wondering if it's good. That's why I'm here to tell you. First of all, before we get into the specs, I just want to talk about the price point. The price point is actually $1,000 USD, which doesn't come normally because cameras that are like mirrorless, they don't usually come around $1,000. They're usually a lot more. Now, I think $1,000 is only for the body of the camera, but obviously you're gonna have to get a lens for it. $1,000 is obviously only for the US, but in Canada, it's around $1,200. Even though it's $1,000, $1,200, in my opinion, that is a really good price for beginners and this kind of camera because it's mirrorless, and mirrorless cameras are like really expensive. It's also really good if you're trying to get into photography and videography. Now let's get into the specs. This camera has a 26 megapixel full frame CMOS sensor, which is really good because you can catch everything that you are trying to shoot. This camera also has an iOS auto to 100 all the way to 40,000. Lens mount is actually Canon RP too. This camera also has a really nice image processor if you're trying to take really nice photos. This camera also has a really nice sensor stabilization. It also has a nice sensor cleaning. Also, the reason why I don't have the camera in my hand right now to showcase it to all of you is because I'm actually using this camera to film this video to show you guys how good this quality is for this video. If you're trying to be a YouTuber or just film videos on this camera for like commercial wise or even movies, I think you should definitely get this camera for video, because this camera actually shoots to 30 frames all the way up to 60 frames 1080p. On this camera you can also shoot on 4K, but I strongly think that you should never use 4K unless you're shooting cinematic videos or even movies, because the crop image is actually really zoomed in. You can't really catch anything with that. But if you're trying to get this camera and you're planning to shoot video, I strongly think you should get this camera. This camera also shoots really great photos. Actually, this camera I think was actually made to shoot photos. So honestly, if you're trying to be a photographer or trying to take really beautiful photos, I think you should definitely pick up this camera. Now, before this camera, I actually used a Sony A33, which wasn't really good, and after I got this camera, which was on December 25th, last month, 2021, I think, it was amazing. Like, I had so much fun using this camera for my cinematic videos on this YouTube channel, which you can actually go watch. And I think this camera is just really good for beginners or just trying to get into cameras. And yeah, and if you're wondering where I got this camera, I actually got this camera off Amazon. It was like a kit. This camera actually cost around like $1,700, but I think it's because of the lens that made so much. So don't get scared because of the price. It just matters on what lens you actually get. Also, this camera makes it really easy to switch through different frame rates that you're trying to film at. You just go in the menu and you just click on the frame rate and then you're there. Also, this camera has really nice face tracking if you're trying to do vlogs or anything. You just go in the menu and just click whatever focus you want. This camera also has a really nice dial on the top of the camera that switches through different modes if you want to go film mode or you want to take photos, which is photo mode. Anyways guys, I think we went through everything that is really important to you guys if you're trying to buy this camera. In my opinion, I think you guys should get this camera. I know the price is just a little bit too much, but it's like the best price for a mirrorless camera. Anyways, I hope this video actually helped you guys making your decision to get this camera or not. And yeah, please like and subscribe, and yeah, see you guys in the next video.